Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Threezero Stranger Things 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today we are taking a look at none other than Dustin Henderson, based off his appearance in Season 1. Now I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review goes live on the channel. As for the box art, I really like this. It's an image of Dustin on his bicycle front and center. You've got the Christmas lights in the background, how they were communicating with Will in the Upside Down. And we also have a moon plus the facility where Eleven was kept. Down below, Stranger Things in a very vibrant glossy red, plus his name. On the side of the box, the rest of that image from the front, spilling over the edge, Netflix, Stranger Things once again in glossy red, and Dustin Henderson. Plus a Threezero hologram sticker and their logo on the bottom corner. Then on the back, an image of actual Dustin from the show, and down below, all the warnings and legal info. Now back around the front, you can flip open the top cover. It's held in place with Velcro. Peel off this sheet of plastic and look at that, an open window showcasing the figure inside. And on the other side, a product shot of the actual figure. I've actually been pretty impressed so far with Threezero's Stranger Things line. I mean, they started off super strong with the Demogorgon. He was a beast of a figure. Then they followed up with Eleven, who was way better than I thought she was going to be. And now we have Dustin. First in-hand impressions, you know what? He actually looks pretty good. What we are going to do now, though, is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Normally, that would mean starting off with the display base first, but he doesn't have one, unfortunately. That's not to say that Threezero don't have a Stranger Things base in their rotation. They do. It's circular, and up top it says Stranger Things in metallic red. This display base came with the Demogorgon. Now I get it, he's a tough figure to stand on his own because of the weird ankle and feet arrangement, but still, if you're going to give a base to one figure in the line, I think for consistency's sake, they all should come with bases. Now he does come with a backpack and it looks like it's made of denim. Around the front, a proper working zipper and a pocket with some foam padding. Then around the back, another working zipper, and this time I'm actually going to show you, plus some foam padding that is removable. So if you wanted to, you could take the padding out and pop some accessories inside to actually store them on the figure. Then around the back of the backpack, I guess, we do have some little buckles and straps. These buckles are functional, you can open them, and the straps themselves, they are adjustable. These next two pieces do go hand in hand, because technically this mic headset would be wirelessly connected to the walkie-talkie. Speaking of walkie-talkies, I like the sculpt work. It's painted pretty simply with some silver on the sides and up top for the antenna. Then around the front, a couple of dots of red. This antenna is static though, and I've actually already broken it trying to get it into his hand, so when you're trying to finagle this into his hand, please, don't be like me, actually be careful. The headset does have a proper wire attached to the receiver, and that means you can pose it. Plus, yes, he can actually wear this headset. I'll show you how that works later on. I cannot tell you how much I love some of these accessories. I mean, the orienteering compass is cool. We've got the print on the back with the various little measurements, and you can make out the needle, but who cares about the compass? I'm talking about the can of Pringles. I love Pringles, and now finally I have a canister in 1/6 scale. Well, almost. Up top you can tell that this is supposed to be the Pringles guy, but instead of Pringles, it says Pringle. I guess Threezero, they didn't want to pay for the licensing. Also, it says newfangled potato chips, but you get the idea. It actually looks like Pringles. Now, you can't open it, and there aren't any inside, but still, I dig this. We're almost there. I know you all want to see the figure as much as I do, but next up, we have Dart. Now, he's painted in green with some speckling on the surface and a lighter belly, but he's just kind of this teeny tiny little piece of plastic. So, for me, yeah, I think this guy could have looked a little bit better. He's not awful, I'm glad he's here, but still, he's not the main reason for picking up this figure. We also get a flashlight, and this looks so freaking retro. There's a dot of red on the switch, so it'll tell you if this thing is illuminated. Around the front there's a translucent lens, and the handle is painted in matte brown. Plus, the rest of this little guy is this bright shiny silver. And lastly, a full array of hands, ranging from open palm hands to closed fist to walkie-talkie gripping hands, and one extra one that's either supposed to be used to hold the can of Pringles or the flashlight. It's up to you. Now, there's a distinct lack of skin texture. They kind of look a little bit waxy and almost translucent, but they're also not the worst hands I've ever seen, especially not from Threezero. They've made some really awful ones. What we are going to do now, though, is get Dustin himself out here, standing straight up and down in the light box. No crazy poses, or accessories, or anything like that. That's Dustin. Is he perfect? Heck no. We've still got plenty to discuss, but they've got all the beats down pat. The head sculpt looks like him. I love the expression, yes, even from a distance. He's wearing his baseball cap, and that outfit, it's accurate to Season 1 and the images on the box art, so you know they've done their research. The denim jacket, it looks like denim, and his pants, I don't think I've ever seen corduroy in 1/6 scale, but there's a first time for everything. Plus, Threezero, they've kind of gone out on a limb here, making kids in 1/6 scale. It is never easy. They need to do all new bodies, a lot of brand new engineering, and if they don't sell well, that's a bunch of wasted money, but they're willing to give it a go, and I, for one, I'm glad they are. Up close and personal, kicking things off with Dustin's head sculpt and his very stylish baseball cap. I kind of wish the cap was removable though, because later on in the show he ditched the cap, he got some hairstyling tips from Steve, and he thought of himself as a bit of a cool cat, so the hat, it went out the window. In 1/6 scale for the Season 1 version though, it is fixed in position. It's your only option. We do have some hair poking out around the back where it would be adjustable. There's some buckling and wrinkling throughout the entire hat, plus some texture on the blue and some stitch lines on the red brim. Now the front is extremely white, so I apologize, it is getting blurred out on camera. You can tell though, it's still absolutely there. Then for the hair, there's some really nice sculpt work at play here. There are multiple layers, there are little spikies sticking out, and it does look like hair. It is fully sculpted though, so you're not fooling anyone, it still is a piece of plastic. In the display though, it gets the job done. And Dustin, he has a very full set of hair. I'm happy with the way this looks. There are multiple layers of paint, darker brown, lighter brown dry brushing, and also some black wash in the crevices, just to bring out all that texture and fine sculpt work. Then, for the expression, it is very shocked, but that totally works. Weird stuff goes on in the show, so depending on how you pose him, this expression can absolutely fit the bill. Now, I do not envy Threezero sculpting young people in 1/6 scale, especially from Season 1 of Stranger Things. It is notoriously difficult. Companies straight up avoid it, because getting the likeness bang on, it's just not that easy. We don't have crow's feet, we don't have wrinkling, we don't have age lines or dimples. Skin's pretty much entirely smooth. So all of those markers that you'd usually use to sell a likeness, you can't use any of them. Plus the skin texture, it's very soft. It's still there and the paint applications are good, but I think that's where the likeness falls apart. You can tell who it's supposed to be, especially from certain angles, but from others, you do tend to lose the likeness just a little. Now, the head sculpt does have a party piece. This piece of hair is removable, and by the way, that seam is very well hidden. You can then bring in his headset and slide it on and in position. It does require a little bit of futzing, but there's a divot that this piece kind of hooks into, and when you do pop it on, this expression makes way more sense, because his mouth is open. He is quite clearly about to say something into the microphone. And chances are, it might have been a little bit snarky, because these kids, they were full of personality and sass, and that's why Season 1 worked so well, and the show only got better from there. So I am hoping that eventually Threezero do make figures from the later seasons as well. Now I do currently have him wearing his backpack, and sits nicely in position. It's not too big, and it's not too bulky. Plus, it does kind of help you out on multiple levels. First off, you can open up the backpack and pop some accessories in there, so instead of going back to the box every single time you want to change a pose, you don't have to. Open up the backpack, all the accessories, they're going to be inside. And number 2, it kinda holds this collar in position, because in the show, his collar did sit flat to reveal this check pattern, so you can tuck the collar underneath the backpack straps and tighten them up down below with these little pulley string pieces, and fingers crossed it should sit like this. So in my display, I'm absolutely going with backpack on. But if you do want to remove it, you can. It's very simple. You quite literally slide it off. Now his denim jacket, I don't think is actual denim, but it looks the part. There's this texture on the surface, the orange stitching, and you also have that check lining around the front on both sides. Underneath we have his blue shirt, and this is some kind of transfer that's printed on the surface, maybe screen printing. Then underneath that, some padding, because I'm pretty sure that's the easiest way to make different styles of bodies for kids in 1/6 scale. Just the same base body and just add padding where you need to, because not every kid in the show was the exact same body type or body size. So in my opinion, this absolutely works. Also, I almost forgot to mention this because I didn't see it until now. He has a little watch on. Normally these things are removable and you have to pop it on yourself, but this time it's already in position and the screen is actually printed. Then for his pants, very 80s, they're corduroy style. I'm not sure what style of fabric they've used in 1/6 scale because it's very thin and light, whereas in real life corduroy is very stiff and sturdy. Now it's got this kind of dirt and grime down below which does tie the look together with the shoes. They're quite filthy. We've got some washes in the crevices, sculpted in laces, and also some sculpted tread with, you guessed it, more washes in those crevices to bring out all the sculpted detail. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be Adidas or Nike, but they kinda do look like Adidas with the stripes on the side. If you know, please, let me know down below. For a quick side-by-side comparison, on the left, Dusty Bun, in the middle, quite clearly that's Demogorgon, and on the right, 11. Now, Dustin is taller than 11, and his proportions are entirely different. He's on a completely different body. Now, initially I thought, okay, they'll use the 11 body and change things here and there for the male kids as well, but they didn't. I'm pretty sure we're looking at 2 completely different bodies made specifically for these characters. Then, of course, Demogorgon, he towers over everyone, and that guy, he mustn't have been cheap to produce because there is a ton of unique sculpting there. Going over articulation, it's pretty much a normal true type body just shrunk down to kid size. So all of the usual suspects for points of articulation, they should be here, just a little bit smaller. Starting off with the head sculpt, a fixed neck, the ball joint at the bottom. Looking forward the full way, going back to there, limited by the body and probably the sculpt hair, swivel and pivot side to side. The arms will go up to there, they will go forward and back, butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep, double bend at the elbow going way past 90, and of course a hinge and swivel for the wrist peg. The torso crunches forward and back, swivels and pivots. There is a little bit of padding, but doesn't really restrict anything. The legs will go forward to there, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh, double bend at the knee going past 90, a double ball peg for the ankle, good for forward and back, swivel, and pivot side to side. Wrapping up on Threezero's Dustin from Stranger Things Season 1. Going into this, I was really excited because any day I get to add to my Stranger Things collection is a very good day. I'm a massive fan of the show. Plus, I love Dustin in the show. He's one of my favorite characters, and finally we have him in 1/6 scale. There's an all-new body here. Now, they're probably going to reuse it for Mike and Will and Lucas, just change the size and shape of some of the limbs, but the core body will be the same, and that's totally fine with me. But for Dustin, this is the first time we're seeing it, and it works really well. The proportions are good. He looks like a kid. His head is slightly big, but that could be down to the fact that he would still be growing, and his hair is quite big and bulky, so it adds to the oversized feel. Then the outfit on top of the body, it's full fabric and it's accurate to the show. So that means you can go absolutely crazy with the posing. You could have him running away from the Demogorgon or towards it. You know, he has his heroic moments as well. Plus, if you found a 1/6 scale kid-sized bicycle, he could totally ride that. Now I'm hoping that Threezero one day do a bicycle set, because I would buy that and have them all riding together in the collection, but for now, I'm still really happy with this line as it stands. Now I got mine from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.